Friends, something about health astrology, main houses and planets that affects one's health in a birth chart. So here let's have a look at the first house. So first house, Lagna or ascendant is a foundation of overall health. Natural stamina, immunity of a person is looked upon from the first house. So aspect malefic and benefic to an extent gives idea about how a person is capable of recovering from diseases in terms of his immunity. Then comes the sixth house, disease and recovery. So here, illness, infections, but also the ability to defeat the diseases is also looked upon because it's also out of house of competition. So malefic planets by default do good here. They help ward off the diseases and planets of expansion. Jupiter is also a planet of expansion to some extent. Rahu is also planet of expansion. So here, whether benefic or malefic, right, to an extent, even if it's benefic, they will keep someone busy. Someone busy in fighting one illness to other. They'll recover from something. Then something will happen. Again, something due to weather. Then something if because of some infections being passed on. So they will experience few things frequently. That's what happens with this kind of placement. Then comes the eighth house. Eighth house is looked upon for chronic problems and lifespan. So here, genetic disorders or surgery, sudden illness are concluded. Also, a strong eighth lord will give a good lifespan. Quality of life can be assessed from here because a person who has chronic diseases will be with, let's say, weak constitution, or someone who has blood related problem which are from longer period of time. Such complicated things happens. And the other part is that here in eighth house, there are certain diseases which are, let's say, undetected or not known, not able to diagnose. Such things happens through eighth house. And 12th house, the house of expense on health. So here, hospitalization or longer stay in hospitals, sleep disorders, medical expenses, such things can be looked upon. Now, all these houses and the placement of the lords and exchange of planets and all should be looked into conjunction as a group. Because let's say 12th house, the one which shows expenses, also shows many other things. It can also show a foreign travel, and sometimes if you look into a chart of a doctor or a patient, there are few things similar. They both visit the same place, they spend more time there around the same problems, but in a different way. One person is experiencing it, one person is curing it. So overall chart should also be looked into. Now coming to the planets, what few of the planets signify in terms of health. Sun signifies bone health, heart, immunity, vitality. If sun is weak, there is a low stamina. Moon, when weak, your mental health is afflicted, hormonal imbalance, fluid related infections can be seen. Mars is all about your physical energy, but also inflammation and injuries when malefic. Jupiter is significator for quick recovery and also divine protection. And here, often divine protection is about, let's say, you have been suffering, you have changed two doctors, three doctors, suddenly someone comes out of the blue, suggests someone. You go without hope, but ultimately get cured. So such kind of things happens. In case of Saturn, it gives you endurance to fight the battle of long health problems, but also there's a degeneration and a good lifespan is also looked from Saturn. So someone who has well placed Saturn in a birth chart has a good lifespan. Now, this does not ensure that always healthy, right? A lifespan, a longer lifespan does not always suggest that person will always be healthy. So, again, here combine the things about house placement and planet placement to look into it. So, key combinations for good health: a strong Lagna Lord and Lagna, benefic aspect on Lagna, strong Sun and Moon, no affliction to sixth house, and good placement of eighth Lord. One example here. Here in this chart, if we see health related houses, sixth house Lord is Moon. Moon, the mental health afflicted with Rahu. Again, in the eighth house, there is a Mars. Mars is something that causes cuts, wounds, also surgeries, blood related problems, accidents. And then comes the 12th house. 12th house has Jupiter debilitated. And 12th house lord and 8th house lord are both in 10th house, where again Sun is with enemy Saturn. So here, what person has experienced throughout the life is problems related to stomach, ovarian cyst related surgery, fracture in feet. 12th house is also feet. Skin allergies. For skin, we see mercury. Then thyroid, vertigo, mental health. Moon, of course, afflicted with Rahu Ketu gives some issues, some mental health related problem. Doesn't mean that person cannot overcome or can guide towards other areas, some positive areas. So there's a lot of positivity in that also in terms of research and many other things, but also something like overthinking or sleep disorder that is being caused because of displacements. So, friends, you are watching the Jupiter retrograde channel. Hope you like this video.